It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to Tuesday Travel and Cruise Industry News on the 16th day of May, 2022. Of course, I'm coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia. It's good to be back home. It's good to get starting to get recovered from the last 2 weeks. Wow, what a great time I've had. A couple of announcements to make. You may have noticed on the community tab and as well as the top of the chat room, tonight at 6 o'clock, I will be doing a live with Pete from London on the upcoming December 2nd hosted solo cruise on the Norwegian Escape from Port Canaveral. Of course, I will be hosting that one. But we're going to talk about that tonight. We're probably going to talk about the Joy as well and how just phenomenal that cruise was, how phenomenal that group was. I mean, it was just amazing. I'm sure that will be in the subject matter this evening with Pete. Whether you're planning on going on the December 2nd cruise or not, join us. It'll be a lot of fun. And who knows, maybe one of these days you'll want to take a solo cruise or go on a cruise where we also have double occupancy, like the Alaska cruise coming up. Still have some openings on that, folks, but we're getting close to the end now. So if you are sincerely interested in that, let me know. I've made a very difficult decision. I'll get to that before I get to the news things. And it's a combination of about 6 things, so don't jump at the wrong reasons here. Number 1 is my ongoing battle with Royal Caribbean over their just ridiculous overbooking of cruises recently. I also have several personal issues that have figured into that equation that are not the type of issues that I can talk about on the air. Obviously not mine. My health, I talk about that. But I have other personal issues that have all added up to me canceling my May 23rd Liberty of the Seas cruise out of Bayonne. I'm very disappointed at that, but it was the right thing for me to do at this time. I still have some open time this summer where I might grab a couple more short timers as we go. I have to play that by ear when I see how the personal matters work out. So we'll see. And the bottom line is the cruise in next weekend, I guess it was. Anyway, whenever the 23rd is, a week from today, is now canceled. I have removed that from my schedule on the website. Okay, headlines today. We got a drug bust on a cruise ship is the top story. We got a cruise ship deserter apprehended. That was almost the top story. Seabourn is getting Starlink. Glad to hear that. Royal returns to China. I wonder if they'll overbook theirs. Princess celebrates 40 years in the Mediterranean, and a whole lot more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. I saw Elizabeth in the chat room from Cozumel. Glad to have you back, Elizabeth. Sitting poolside in sunny Cozumel. And I'm not getting to Cozumel anytime until this fall. Right now, that's subject to change. So I'm jonesing for my lunch with Elizabeth. I missed out on the last one with that she did. All right, guys. Today is National Mimosa Day. Not my favorite, but I'll have one on occasion if I'm in the right group that are drinking mimosas. I won't be totally different. I mean, especially in the morning. I'm not going to drink a mimosa at night, though. No. I'll be back to my bourbon at night. If you're listening via the podcast, you're always welcome here. Of course, you can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the main hitters, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, all of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News. Bingo, up pops the fat travel guy. And always, if you're listening, there's a link in the description of the podcast to access the video feed if you ever want to hop over and see what videos or interviews or pictures I might be using on that day's show. All right. Speaking of the podcast and accessing it via my blog, I said yesterday that I would have the Cartagena hop on, hop off tour with the walking tour of Old Town. It didn't get finished. It is, however, has been uploaded this morning. I just have to process it and tell it to go public, which I'll do right after the show. I ran out of time. But anyway, it is uploaded now. So it's just a matter of minutes after the show, and it will be live. So I appreciate you watch that. It's, as you'll see kind of how excited I got about Cartagena and that excursion. That was just awesome. If you haven't done so yet, I'd appreciate smashing that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out a lot. And also, if you have not subscribed, please do so. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps the channel out tremendously. If you hit the bell notification, you'll be notified when I go live or when a new video is posted, so you don't miss out on any of this exciting stuff we talk about every day. Like, for instance, today's top story. Today's top story actually comes from the other side of the pond. The computer ate a picture. Why does it do this to me? Okay, so we're going to start all over. The top story today is from the other side of the pond. That's what I said. French authorities have successfully thwarted a major drug smuggling attempt, seizing 95 kilograms of cocaine and apprehending 4 Brazilian nationals, consisting of 1 man and 3 women, who used a cruise ship for their illicit activities. Customs officials at the port of Marseille noticed suspicious behavior from a Brazilian couple who disembarked from the cruise ship Costa Fabulosa. The couple, carrying a suitcase, hastily returned to the ship upon realizing the presence of a checkpoint. Moments later, the woman reappeared, this time with a backpack. As the agents requested to inspect her belongings, the passenger suddenly changed her mind, threw the bag into the sea. That was kind of dumb. The customs officers managed to retrieve the bag, which contained 8.4 kilograms of cocaine, Subsequently, authorities conducted a search of the couple's stateroom and made the startling discovery: hidden beneath the mattress were 6 bags containing 86.4 kilograms of cocaine, estimated to be worth over 5 million euros. In addition, a reservation voucher was found confirming the involvement of 2 other Brazilians who had left the ship in Marseille for an excursion. The 2 remaining Brazilians were arrested upon their return to the ship, having discarded their bag. All 4 individuals were taken into custody. During the investigation, it was revealed that they had been recruited as drug mules by a powerful South American drug cartel after flying across the Atlantic and embarking on the Costa Favolosa cruise ship in Savona, Italy. The perpetrators had meticulously planned a tourist route to evade suspicion, arranging for their bags to be delivered to a rented apartment in Marseille's city center. Authorities suspected that the arrested individuals comprised the second team involved in the elaborate drug trafficking scheme, and they believe another team boarded the ship in Brazil to transport the drugs on board. The Costa Favolosa set sail from Rio de Janeiro on April 14th on an 18-day transatlantic voyage with stops in Salvador de Bahia, Recife, Tenerife, Cadiz, and Barcelona before reaching Marseille on April 29th. After a brief 2-day cruise to Savona, the ship returned to Marseille on May 4th for a voyage to Morocco. The route taken by the ship suggests that the drugs may have been initially concealed on board in Brazil by a first team and subsequently distributed by mules in Marseille or other European ports. The investigation remains ongoing as authorities work to identify all involved in the operation. Wow. Big-time drug mules on cruise ships. Imagine that. I'll be back after this.
Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scootaround. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scootaround for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise.
So those of you that follow me quite a bit know that this cruise coming up next week. I've already have a scooter booked for that I'm canceling. I have one booked on my first Alaska cruise that goes from Vancouver to what's that place? Anchorage. My second Alaska cruise from Anchorage back to Vancouver, I don't at this point have a scooter booked. However, we're shifting one to the other. So now it is. That's what Scootaround does for me. They're just awesome. And yes, folks, even though I have the chair now, the chair is not really sufficient for me on a cruise ship for what I do. The scooter is absolutely perfect for what I do on the ships. The wheelchair has proven to be awesome off the ships. I'm going to continue in that vein. I just have to work out procedurally how to do this on ports that allow delivery in the terminal. That means I'll have a chair and a scooter at the same time, and that don't work. So I got to work that out. Probably the chair will go up with my luggage. I'll fold it up and do all the things, and send it up with the luggage. Is what I intend to happen. But we'll see on that one. All right, there's the next story today. And this one at first this morning was the lead story until the cocaine story broke. And by the way, that was brand new at like 6:30 this morning, folks. That's not an old story. That's today, early. In a recent enforcement operation conducted by Customs and Border Protection, a crew member who deserted the cruise ship Viking Octantis was apprehended. The crew member disembarked the vessel at the port of Detroit on May the 1st for a shore visit, but failed to return without authorization from the CBP, that's the Customs and Border Protection, or the knowledge of the cruise line. The Customs and Border Protection issued a be on the lookout, that's a BOLO, alert identifying the crew member as Ramkaji Pakrin, a 32-year-old Nepalese national employed in the laundry department. CBP successfully located and apprehended the individual, who was subsequently processed for removal proceedings and repatriated to Nepal. In response to the incident, the recruiting agency, Employment Creation Services PVT Limited Nepal, shared a social media post with photo of the BOLO, urging Nepali nationals to refrain from engaging in any unlawful activities that could lead to travel bans for themselves and their family. The same BOLO was posted aboard the ship as a reminder to the crew to abstain from participating in such illegal activities. The interesting thing about this, guys, is when they do something like that, they can basically cut privileges off for the whole ship, for the whole crew, for an amount of time. So one person can screw things up for how many ever people work on the entire ship, cutting shore leaves off. Now that's to the extreme, but it can be, and it has been done. The crew people that I'm so close with, and I've quite a few of them, I mean, they know. I mean, they wouldn't even think about that because they don't want to screw it up not only for themselves, but screw it up for all their brothers and sisters that are working with them. Bad juju on that one. All right. I'll be back with more after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. Don't go away. All right, the next story of the day has to deal with Starlink Seabourn. Again, we talked about them earlier in the week. They revealed its plan to equip two of its upscale expedition ships, Seabourn Venture and Seabourn Pursuit, with cutting-edge Wi-Fi connectivity powered by SpaceX Starlink satellite technology. Starlink integration will deliver an unparalleled experience, offering faster service, enhanced connectivity, and more reliable Wi-Fi access wherever services are available, even in the Arctic, they're saying. And let's face it, folks, Seabourn cruises are not cheap. Their passengers deserve and demand the best, and they're doing that. I've talked about Starlinks before. Every ship that I've been on that has had Starlink, the signal has been just outstanding. So congratulations to Seabourn. As for the Seabourn Pursuit, the line's second expedition ship will be equipped with the enhanced Wi-Fi connectivity shortly after its launch this summer. So good for them. Company that I'm most upset with right now is Royal Caribbean, who's always been my favorite, or one of them. I still love the loyalty program because I drink for free. Royal Caribbean International will sail from Shanghai with the 2019 built Spectrum of the Seas in April of next year, that's 2024, making the brand's return to China. The Anthem of the Seas will reposition to Singapore for the 2024-2025 cruise season, start home porting operations in October of 2024. Singapore was the first home port in Asia to allow ships to restart in late 2020. Since then, Spectrum of the Seas has been sailing cruises primarily from Singapore, ranging from 3 to 4 nights. The Spectrum of the Seas will reposition to China and start offering sailings to Shanghai in April of 2024. The ship will visit ports in Japan, including Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, Fukuoka, and Nagasaki. From Hong Kong, the Spectrum will offer 8 sailings with visits to Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam. Okay, I'll quit fussing about Royal Caribbean. As long as they don't do it again. All right, Princess of the Seas, celebrating. This one kind of took me back. I had to think about this one. Princess is commemorating the 40th anniversary sailing in the Mediterranean. Did you get that? 40th anniversary of sailing in the Mediterranean by featuring 2 of its largest, most recent ships in the region in 2025. The ships are Star Princess and Sun Princess. Of course, Sun Princess is sailing. Star Princess is the next one to come out in the same class. So they're going to both be in the Mediterranean with a combination of stunning natural beauty, rich history, cultural diversity, and a relaxed travel experience. Guests can choose from 6 exquisite Princess cruise ships for their Mediterranean journey. The new edition Star and Sun Princess, along with Majestic Princess, Sky Princess, Regal Princess, and Emerald Princess. And of course, Emerald Princess will be on. No, it won't. I'll be on Sapphire Princess. I get this mixed up. Never mind. I'll be on Sapphire Princess August the 30th. So, anyway, if you're interested, folks, we still got some openings, but let's at least get a deposit down on them pretty quick. So that wraps up the news portion of today. Let's go over and see who's fussing at me in the chat room or totally ignoring me like normal. Don't forget, Pete and I tonight talking about my upcoming hosted cruise. There's Eli. Hot Air Tom's here. Good morning, Hot Air Tom. Hey, Mike. Chillie can now join me across the pond for my Dawn cruises June 3rd and 13th. No, he can't. That still has, I have personal issues, Hot Air Tom, that have me tied down for a while. I'm sorry, but yeah, no. Katie's with us. Joanne, do you have a penalty for canceling Liberty? I didn't care. And yeah, but it wasn't bad. It was like $109 or something. And I could maybe run a scam on the insurance, but I'm not going to do that. No, I canceled it. I don't care. If I'd lost everything, I wouldn't have cared on that either. This is something that I just don't have any choice. I don't cancel cruises lightly, folks. That's what I'm saying. Kenneth's with us. Emily's here. Hi, Emily. Came outside to say hello. Hello. I'm working the polls today. Oh, that's right. You got an election going on up there. Eli says that happens often that we cannot go ashore in U.S. ports. Even the U.S. crew are restricted. It's the port authorities, not the cruise line. Okay. I wasn't sure. I just knew that it got trickled down to you guys not being able to go ashore. Nikki's with us. Congratulates Emily for her civic duty. The 8th graders are visiting the high school today. They have a great day for it too. Nice. I'm happy. She's happy that you're looking at cruises again. We all are, Nikki. We can't wait to see you and Roger on a ship on the high seas once again. So, all right, guys, I got another show tonight with Pete. Please join me. There'll be links posted all over the place, including the one in my community tab on YouTube or in the up at the top of the chat room here. So join us. It'll be fun. It usually is when Pete and I get together and go on these crazy chats. So that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. As always, I appreciate you being here. Don't forget the thumbs up. That helps out a bunch. And also, please, if you're new to this channel, hit that little subscribe button. That'll help us out a lot. And besides that, and besides tonight, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Right after the show, I get to go to the oncologist. Oh, well. That's it for today, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together, Nikki and Roger and all of us on the high seas. Love you guys. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.